Chico and the Man will not be presented this evening, and the Rockford Files will be seen 1 hour later than normal, so that we may bring you the following special program.
Word Balloon is brought to you by the League of Word Balloon Listeners. Now available to order at your local comic shop, it's Sal Abenanti's new graphic novel, The Hostage.
Hostage is set in the streets of Rio de Janeiro, based on the plight of the street children that live in the favelas. In the world of the graphic novel, being murdered daily, and the hostage is the evil spirit that is raised to avenge their death. Origins go all the way back to the indigenous tribes of the Amazon as the spirits that protect children, especially murdered children. The level of death that these kids have to endure every day. They have nowhere to sleep. They have no place to eat. They have to survive off of begging. There were nobody in capes that were coming to save these kids.
Pick up Sal Abenanti's latest graphic novel, The Hostage. Order now at your local comic shop through Diamond's Previews catalog. Code DEC221534. Welcome back, everybody. Time again for another Trek Watch. We're going to talk about Star Trek Prodigy. It's also an anniversary week for one of the Star Trek movies, and we lost a significant star of Star Trek films. John Suntress, Franco, Mitch, Wayne. Good to see everybody. And, man, I'll tell you guys, it's as we're recording this, it's the night before the next Prodigy. I thought last week's episode was really great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, that's it. Good night, everybody.
Well, what I liked about it is we finally get to understand why Jacob Pog always says Jacob Pog.
And Rock,
things, yeah,
and Rock. I actually liked Rock after all this time. His backstory.
Yeah, she had kind of a Peter Parker backstory, being a wrestler and everything. I thought that was okay. I loved Zero's story. That the Medusans were out, kind of roaming the planet, and she got picked up by the Kazons. I love too that they had the red visors on so they don't go crazy.
Yeah,
when they look at a Medusan and everything, I thought all that was great. I love that we got more information on this guy, Chakotay.
Yeah,
we certainly got more backstory of what happened to him and why Janeway and her crew are out looking for him and stuff. I thought all of it. I mean, really, I was like, this was a really satisfying episode in so many ways. And also that Gwen's father is slowly remembering. It seems like, I guess, his amnesia was genuine because of looking at Zero and everything and being face to face with the Medusan. But certainly he seems to be coming back and out of it and ready to plot again.
Isn't it something? They got a cartoon that's on its 12th episode, and they told you the origins of all the main characters, and now you know where they all came from. And yet you still have no clue on fucking Void or not Discovery. Yeah, who the hell most of these people are, why they got the implants, and why is this, and you don't care either. So
yeah, I'm a broken record, man. I agree with Doubt. I can only say Prodigy seems to be one of the best Star Trek shows. It's definitely a tie for Prodigy and Strange New Worlds of the new ones. Yeah, man. No, I
do not doubt.
What do you mean?
What?
Doubt.
In what way?
Well, he made a good point, so don't doubt him.
All right.
His name is Doubt. You don't doubt him.
I understand.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And I gotta say, I came around to the show.
A rough
I
road
was
tonight. Wow.
I
know,
was
man.
not I was not gonna watch it because you guys kept telling me. I go, it's a kiddie show, and I'm like, no. You know why it's great? There's no more commercials on my whatever the hell it is, Paramount Plus. I don't know. I didn't pay extra, but when I go to watch this, and the same thing with the Stallone show. I don't know what they're doing. There's no commercials.
Maybe they're not having good luck with ads. I don't know.
I mean, 20 minutes, it's like, oh, okay, it's over before you know it. And you're like, oh, that was good.
But the better animated shows pack a lot of story in a small amount of time. And again, no, you're right, Mitch. I agree with you. I mean, we get so much more and smarter story out of 24 minutes of Prodigy than we get in 50 minutes of Discovery 5-0. I mean, it's
a
laughable.
season of Discovery.
A season,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I know.
And I wonder how much money it costs to produce one of these episodes compared to the big budget Discovery or Strange New Worlds.
No, you're right, man. And I honestly, I just talked to Paul Cornell the other day, who I love talking to, and we talk about some what he's been working on lately. And he's like, I don't like to talk about negative things in public. I like to keep it positive. And I'm like, all right, well, then I won't talk I won't talk Star Trek with you.
He's not coming on this show then, huh?
He's great. I love him. He's fantastic. And I had to ask him about Doctor Who and Tennant coming back and everything. And he's Peter positive and well understood. I mean, I'm excited about David Tennant coming back too, man. So that's interesting. Oh, and I like that he put a T on it. Don wants to know, is Chakotay dead? I have no idea.
I thought he was dead too, actually. That he sacrificed himself and sent the ship back, or he's stuck in the future or something. I thought.
No,
Well, I mean, they leave that open for.
Yeah, they're going to leave it open for another episode. I don't think he's dead.
Oh,
it's like the crew's just stranded on whatever planet that is.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that Julie and Shauna. I mean, it seemed like the whole staff contributed to this episode, to Preludes. And next week is their episode, not tomorrow's episode, but the episode that will drop on the 15th. So, and maybe they did. I don't know if they wrote this one tomorrow or not. But I'm just, again, I love the detail. I think it's interesting. I think they do a great job of showcasing races we're familiar with, and also just, God, I hope we get more of Jellicoe. Ronnie Cox was great in that one brief scene that he did, and I loved Ocampa coming back. So yeah, I think it's great. It's in a good time period as far as Trek history and everything, and thankfully a lot of the character actors are still around to reprise their roles.
I'm liking Janeway's number one.
Dorian.
He's very stoic. I like that guy.
Yeah, he's got good taste in classical music. I know
You think they're going to keep mining Voyager for some more cameos and stuff? You think Neelix will show up?
Oh, I don't know. I hope. I really like what's his name, Ethan Phillips.
Yeah,
I really like Ethan Phillips. I got to admit, and they thankfully toned down the annoyance level with Neelix, and I think he settled down. Was still quirky enough, but still fun. I loved the Hirogen, the hunting aliens, and when they infiltrated the ship, and all the different levels were different, like holodeck scenarios, and Neelix was a Klingon, and I think it was a fun Klingon. I thought that was fun. I also liked when he they found that Klingon ship that was like a generational ship, and when they thought B'Elanna's unborn child was like the savior and everything, and he had sex with the Klingon woman, and they were using Tuvok's quarters, and they wrecked the place having sex. So I mean, I don't know. So that's why
wasn't he on Benson with Renee Auberjonois too as well, right? Yeah.
Yep, he was.
Oh God, yeah.
That's he's very personable. Like in person, he's just hilarious.
Yeah, he's a local guy. He's right in New York, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he was at a lot of local shows for a while. Ethan Phillips.
That's cool.
But I couldn't stand Neelix when he would wear the chef's hat, though. When he was the cook. Remember that? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, like, I remember they were low on power or whatever, so they had to ration various replicator things. And he's like, "Oh, Captain, I can't give you coffee, but let me give you this." And she's like, "Listen to me, coffee right now." Yes, Captain. So, and I also loved in the finale that she gave up coffee.
Yeah, she's got a tea now. Yeah.
Well, that's the doctor's recommendation.
Yes. Well, No, I it's interesting again because it seems like within the fandom, a couple of years ago, Deep Space Nine was having a moment, and now it's Voyager, obviously. And I don't blame them. That's cool, and I like the fact that they're Voyager fans.
Maybe it'll be Enterprise next. What about Jolene Blaylock? She could come on one of these shows because she's a Vulcan, and she could be like 200 years old or something. She could pop up on.
No, she's married to a rich millionaire guy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, in real life? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good for her.
Is that what happened to her? I wonder.
Yeah, that's what happened to her. Yeah, I think he's in real estate, and yeah, she is not doing cons.
Speaking of real estate, I saw Robin Curtis is back in a movie. I was like, wait, that's yeah, I just saw her name like a week ago, and she's back acting again because she was a real estate agent actually for a long time here in Connecticut. It was weird.
That's cool. I heard her interviewed on the Inglorious Trexperts show, and she had really good stories. It's funny. Last night we did a review of Yojimbo and Fistful of Dollars, and was talking to Gabe Hardman, Ian Brill, and we were getting into a Star Trek talk off the air because we were talking about Kirstie Alley passing, and Gabe is really like, the only guy that could really play a good Vulcan was Nimoy. And I do think that Jolene Blaylock did an adequate job. Mm-hmm. And I really thought Tim Russ on Voyager.
Yeah, I was going to say Tuvok, right?
Yeah, he was cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tuvok is so good at being a Vulcan that he's been a whole bunch of other races on Star Trek as well. That's how good of a Vulcan he was.
You're right. Well, yeah, he's on that Starship Mine Next Generation episode, which is like Die Hard on the Enterprise.
Yeah,
and he's one of the bad guys on that. And then, of course, he was in Star Trek 6. We're going to talk about, was it 6 or no? It was Generations. He's on Generations as a crew member on the Enterprise B.
Yeah,
and Captain Harriman's ship, Cameron from Ferris Bueller. But and then of course too, I loved the flashback of Tuvok being on Sulu's Excelsior and everything, and they re-show the great scene from Star Trek 6 of Praxis blowing up. Shields.
I heard he was very at conventions. My friend, I was talking to him today, another Star Trek fan. He said he was very just like next, just sign the autograph. Next, I don't know. Wayne probably met him a couple times. Wasn't very personable. He said,
he's more stoic in person.
Yeah. So.
He made that good fan movie, Star Trek Renegades, which is on YouTube, and it's before they started restricting lengths of movies. It was made around the same time as Prelude to Axanar, but it's a full-length movie. And listen, the effects are a little second rate. The makeup is a little second rate, but there are Nausicaans on there. Mm-hmm. Sean Young is the doctor on the ship. It's an unofficial, not a sequel or anything, but essentially it's an all-star cast. The original Icheb is on it. Wow. They can't name their characters, or they made sure they didn't. But Tim Russ directed it and played Tuvok. Walter Koenig is Admiral Chekhov and still around, which is interesting. You had Icheb, you had Sean Young, you had a Nausicaan on their ship. Gary Graham played, who was Saval in Enterprise, and of course Alienation. He played some sort of kind of vagabond, like nondescript alien, but he was on the ship as well. And it was, for a fan film, it was pretty interesting, and they even made 2 of them.
Yeah.
And it's about, like, Chekhov is back at Starfleet Command. Oh, Admiral Paris is also there, and
dad.
Yeah, Tom's dad. He refers to Chekhov as Pavel, but that's as far as he goes, and they're both admirals and stuff. It's decent, and they're both movies. You can see them on YouTube because obviously they made them, and they're like, all right, we're not going to make money off of this.
That was before Paramount shut them down.
Yeah,
on the fan films.
Do these actors get any money at all for showing up, or it's all for free?
I don't know.
Because Sean Young,
they get paid. They're not gonna.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean,
I would think. I know. In the case of Axanar, they they raised a ton of money, and I think they did pay him, but it was scale, and I'm sure not great craft services. I'm sure it was whatever sandwiches or whatever while they were shooting, but
it would be like a non-union movie where you can do it for like 30 to 40,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
very.
Is it a union thing? Could they actually do stuff like this without
Would it? I mean, has anyone ever talked to Vic Mangora or whatever the hell his name is, who made all those Star Trek fan films?
I've seen him, but I've never spoken to him.
Doubt just checked on YouTube, and you can find Renegades and Renegades Requiem are the two movies. They're decent. They are decent. It's great. I was really happy to see original Icheb. I'm still angry at Picard for killing Icheb. What a senseless death.
Along those lines, I got a question about fan fiction, because this Batman thing came up. I don't know if you want to talk about that later on, but
feel free.
If somebody wrote a script or whatever, a story using obviously Paramount's characters, and they put it out there, they can't make money off of it. They can't sell it. They can't make a comic book or I don't know. Maybe they can make it. If they put it out there for free distribution, does that skate all the legalities of it? I mean, if they did a real good job,
basically it's fan fiction. You can put it out and do whatever you want, but you can't make any money off that. If you do, Warner Brothers or Paramount or whatever is going to come after you.
Right.
Now, could they buy it though and say this is really good? Don't put it out. We'll publish it.
It depends on if they want to. They have every right to.
I think that was the original ambition for Axanar, was the hope that Paramount would buy it. And also, sometimes there was that a special effects guy, Sandy Cholera, who made
the Batman Predator thing.
It was called Batman Dead End.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it was and again, it was him saying, I am a good special effects guy, look what I can do. And it got him jobs, and that's great. I mean, and then in the case of Axanar, the original Prelude to Axanar was kind of a proof of concept, 20 minutes long, and let's make the movie if you like the short. And it was a very good short. I have seen newer fan films that follow the rules and are only 15 minutes long. I just saw one where it was a British crewman. Oh God, I'm trying to remember what. It wasn't the Borg. I can't remember which alien race she was giving her perspective on, and had an opportunity to work out. I mean, again, this is all part of the fan film. It's really just her in first person, supposedly being interviewed. And it was great. I got to be on the Enterprise and work with Commander Data. What an experience! Blah blah blah. And it was cute. It was all right. And I've seen good. I mean, God, there's those two fantastic shorts that the one guy made that looked like the old Filmation animated shows, but it was
I've seen those.
Voyager. And they were fantastic. And they used the old music, the Filmation music and everything. And the Borg cube was pink because the original animated series distinctively would use pink every now and then. And everyone's like, why are you using pink, man? But what a great show. I mean, really in its own way. And those adaptations are just hilarious.
No, you're right. I know a guy who got a job working as a movie trailer guy from just making fan edits for YouTube. And one of the big companies tapped him on the shoulder and they said, did you do this? And he's like, yeah, at home. And it was that good a quality that now he works for Disney and he's doing he did the Indiana Jones trailer that just came out for James Mangold. And he got found being a kid in his college dorm room, fucking cutting up videos. Yeah.
I can't speak for how things are done nowadays because I'm many years removed from the process, but way back in my college days, looking to get into the industry and work in the industry, I worked on a couple of films that were trying to get picked up. So they did they would film 20 minutes of the film, put in production costs, put in time, effort, hire people, because it would have a limited budget in the hopes of being picked up to be made into a movie. So I was involved with a number of those. So,
It
but
still
I don't know how.
happens. It
Yeah.
still happens. Brian Bucoletto, the fine writer and artist that has worked in comics and stuff, really wants to. He and oh god, damn it, Kyle Higgins were film student buddies, and they both want to break into movies, but also are doing comics as well. And Brian had a 20-minute proof of concept idea for a film, and it was about children of a satanic cult leader. And they were trying to outlive the shame of having been children of this weird guy and stuff. So Wesley has an interesting question or point. With all due respects to Chris Wozniak, none of points read like original interpretations to me, but I didn't start reading Batman until 91. His idea of the world of Batman could predate that. I don't know what Wesley is talking about.
Chris, that's what I was alluding to. Chris Wozniak came out the other day and said basically he wrote the story that was the basis for the movie The Batman that just came out from Warner Brothers, but he wrote it back in the 90s as a spec script as a freelancer for DC.
Okay.
And basically his lawsuit was that they took it and made a movie and he didn't get credited, and now Warner's is suing him, basically saying, I don't know, just cut it out, or they didn't do that. Defamation, yeah. So he's doing a GoFundMe saying, look, I'm a single parent. I got a 10-year-old daughter. I don't have the money to combat the Warner Brother DC lawyer firms, so I need money. So he's trying to do that, saying that he did not get credit or money for basically his Batman story that they later developed. So it's been like 30,
but they've also
30
used
years. So
they used elements of the Long Halloween in the Batman.
Yeah, they did. So does Jeff Loeb get a cut? I don't know.
They've been good, Warner Brothers. I don't know about the current regime. I do know that when the Nolan films were being made, that everybody was getting checks for various things that were in the trilogy. That I remember talking to Loeb, and they used my Batcave and various other like elements of the movie where Neil Adams got a check, Danny O'Neill got a check, I believe Chuck Dixon and Englehart got checks. So
Adams got a check.
Yes, definitely, absolutely.
Wow, really?
And then also, again, mentioning last night's Scene Missing episode that I did, talking to Gabriel Hardman and Ian Brill, Fistful of Dollars is essentially a remake of Yojimbo, and Kurosawa called him out on it, called Sergio Leone out on him. It's like, hey, I like your movie, but I think you made my movie.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
But maybe it was an homage.
Well, no, but actually he got a settlement, and he has
really
the Kurosawa estate owns a piece of Fistful of Dollars. Yeah.
Oh, wow. No shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
wow.
and it's rightful. I mean, really, you compare the two movies, it is very, a lot. And it's not, because then Walter Hill, of course, later made Last Man Standing with Bruce Willis, and that's also a Yojimbo riff and everything. And there's been a lot over the years.
Did they pay him too?
That I don't know. That I honestly don't know. But again, the Yojimbo Fistful of Dollars connection is notorious. Yeah. Interesting. So there you go. But back to Star Trek. What else was I going to say? No, I'm glad that despite the new rules, at least Paramount allows the older fan films to still be up there. And I got to hand it to Vic, and I got to hand it to James Cawley that made those hour-long kind of faux Trek episodes. They're really, I've talked about them before. They're really, really good. They're like going to see a good community theater or college level dramatic performance, and they're not A level, but for what they are, they're decent. They're very well shot. Some of the effects are really well done. I think the Cawley and the Vic. How do you say his last name, Wayne?
Oh, I don't.
I think it's McNonian.
Something like that.
Something like that.
But I think they made a real effort to shoot their stuff set in the original series years to look like original series, soft, kind of soft focus, and the pastels of the color scheme and everything of the original 60s show. Yeah, it's good. And they get cool people on there too. Aaron Gray did one, and Nicola Bryant from Doctor Who did one. Decay came back and did a James Cawley episode and so did Walter Koenig and stuff. They're good. They're good. What can I say? And I really enjoyed them.
Better than Discovery.
That goes without saying, man. It totally
was Jimmy Doohan's son on one of those things?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah, on Vic's show, Chris Stewart was playing Scotty, and it was fun because he's got the voice. He certainly got the voice, and he looked a little like his dad, obviously. And they gave him a haircut kind of matched Scotty's haircut. He's a little taller, a little thinner, but what was cool. Koenig was just on the Shuttle Pod podcast, which is Trip and Malcolm from Enterprise. And mostly they have focused on Enterprise co-stars and guest stars. They had Vaughn Armstrong on one episode. They had two-parters with Rick Berman and Brandon Braga that I think were really good. But Koenig was great. God, Koenig is 86.
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, but still sharp. I mean, and great stories, really interesting stories. Got it. And it was great. He totally shit on the original movie, the 79 movie motion picture. And he's like, it's a bad movie. He goes, he said he was at the premiere in DC, and he goes, we're limos, tuxedos, really cool. He goes, the movie ended.
And that's when the tuxedo shirts were really puffy too.
Yeah, the curly ruffles.
Yeah. Exactly, very frilly. But he turned around to the associate producer, and they both just gave each other the look of, yeah, not good at all.
That was like us at the end of Black Adam when I turned to look at Paul Levitz, and he just was like, "Is that the escalator out?" Just got up and walked out.
Remind me at the end of the show, I have a not for air story about Black Adam that I was just telling Wayne about.
Well, it made the news yesterday about losing $100 million for Warner Brothers and stuff. But
wow. I thought it maybe had done well enough.
No, it made money, but overall, I mean, it made like 400 million, but with the Rock salary and marketing, not enough to cover everything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the marketing alone will kill it.
Well, and I told this to Ordway, and he said, you got to look at it like this. The regime that owned Warner Brothers is on the way out. So maybe they're trying to make a big a loss as possible.
That's true.
It's a tax write-off thing. Like, hey, look at all the money we lost on it. Sometimes they kind of sabotage stuff on purpose just for business reasons. It's like, well, creative Hollywood accounting,
Coming to America.
Yeah, I believe that because they were just talking. I saw some article that was talking about Black Adam 2 and a Hawkman spinoff. Today. So
So why would you do that if you lost 100 million, right?
Yeah.
I remember with Coming to America, which obviously was like 200 million back in the 80s when they made it, and the old Washington D.C. columnist Art Buchwald supposedly had pitched that story idea to Paramount back then. I think
he sued them or something.
He sued them.
And like you just said, creative accounting. Oh no, we didn't make any money off that movie.
Right.
Gross 200 million. Yeah, we didn't make any money off that movie.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not creative accounting. There's certain things that end up as an expense.
Says the creative accountant.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
well, no. Accounting is, what's the answer for 2 + 2? It's whatever you want it to be, depending on my fee.
Wow.
There you go.
Wayne knows.
Hey, speaking of aliens, isn't it weird that Gary Graham wasn't an alien on Alien Nation, but he's every other alien on Star Trek?
Yeah, exactly. But he was also in Gus the football mule and the Disney thing back in the 70s.
I didn't know
I'm never
that.
going to watch that.
I didn't know that. That's fantastic. When is he going to do the Mick Jagger story?
Oh, he always looked like Jagger, I thought, didn't he? There's him, and there's another actor that had white hair that kind of looked like Jagger that was in a lot of movies. You'd be like,
Mick Jagger, too. He looks like Jagger.
Yes, he does.
Jerry Hall.
Speaking of Mick Jagger, when are we going to get Free Jack 2, that fine sci-fi movie that he and Anthony Hopkins made with Emilio Estevez?
Emilio Estevez, right?
Estevez. What was the one with Tom Selleck and Gene Simmons? What was that one? That was a robot movie.
Tracer.
No, it wasn't Tracer.
No, it wasn't Trancer because Trancer's
that's
Tim
Townsend.
Thomerson,
Yeah.
I love the Trancer movies.
I thought it's Tracer.
All right, yeah, look up the Tom Selleck movie. While you're looking it up, my buddy Dave Baker, who is an active. Yes, it was Runaway.
That's what it was. It was Run. Yeah, you're right.
Dave Baker had a really like low budget sci-fi movie. He wrote the screenplay. He's like, this is never going to get made, and we did a word balloon because he's Star Trek related. He wrote a great IDW Voyager Star Trek comic, and Dave loves Star Trek. He gets it, and he made this screenplay. They made the movie, and because he name checked it on Word Balloon. 2 days later, one of my listeners sends me a screen cap of the title sequence, including his credit, and I'm like, Dave, they made your movie, and he's like, oh my god, I can now finally join the Writers Guild because of it. But he had a meeting where whoever owns the rights to Trancers was thinking about rebooting it, and Dave had a pitch meeting with them for an idea of
I think it's Full Moon that still owns it. So that'd be Charles Band.
Okay. Man, and they made 4 Trancers movies back in the day.
What's the name of that actor again?
Tim Thompson.
Tim Thomerson.
Thomerson.
He was a comedian, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's in Quark. Isn't he the
the TV? He was the She-Man. Well,
yes, he was the
back in the 70s. They called it.
He was an alien that was a transgender.
Yes,
he was a transgender alien. Absolutely.
Yeah, they didn't call it that back then.
Yes. So
I have Trancers up to 6.
Oh, same on.
Wow, really? Yes.
They probably made a few more and then named it something else entirely. So I wouldn't be surprised.
Like Critters, remember that movie? I saw that, and there was like 20 of those more. And the one with Kevin Bacon, they made Tremors. They made a lot of those too.
But
I Michael Gross actually.
I bet Tim Thomerson was probably in all 6 Trancer movies. I'm betting
Reba McEntire was in those as well. The Tremors movies.
The first one.
No.
Yeah, she was in the first one. She was the husband.
She was in another one. She was in another one with Michael Gross.
Oh no shit. Yeah, Gross took over after like Fred Ward came back for another one.
Gross was in there from the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And him and Ward went through all the different versions of it.
Oh, Ward did all of them too?
Yeah, Kevin Bacon didn't do the
I couldn't see
after
that.
the first.
No.
Yeah.
Michael Gross, is that Michael Fox's dad?
Yeah.
Family Ties?
Family
He's
Ties.
He's the paramilitary survivalist guy.
Yeah.
In the movie.
And he's Mary Gross's brother. Mary Gross, who was on SNL, I think, wasn't she? There's an actress, his sister is in movies too.
And he was Michael J. Fox's father on that Family Ties.
You go to if they still, I assume they still have red box vending machines of DVDs, and
they still do.
Well, the amount of sequels for various films is always really funny to look at. Absolutely.
Yes.
So, yes. So
no, it's funny you say that because I see those at the grocery store and I go, who's renting these things still? But I guess they still have an audience of old people that rent DVDs. I don't know.
No, I know you're right, and also they're willing to take a chance because a lot of times they are name actors that, for whatever reason, the studio decided not to put them out publicly. But hey, look, it's Justin Timberlake in in an action adventure movie or who.
Well, Bruce Willis was doing all those.
Well,
movies.
yeah, that's the sad story, and that's when it was revealed, obviously, that the guy has really bad Alzheimer's now.
Yeah, well, now,
it's not Alzheimer's; it's something else. I forget what it's called.
Oh, okay,
it's like a dementia type of thing.
Because it's the inability to be able to read and understand or communicate or something like that. It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, and the guys at Red Letter Media, who are one of my favorite make fun of shitty movie YouTubers out there, they really are like, what's going on with Bruce Willis? He's made for the last 5 years these terrible movies, and they showed scenes from him. And then about a month after they released their video, that's when it became public that Willis was suffering from dementia and everything. No, it's pretty amazing. Absolutely. So, aphasia, says Spedsy.
Aphasia, that's what it is. Yes.
That is correct, sir.
Oh, and by
That
the
is
way,
correct.
that's funny. Doubt points out there was an Eddie Furlong Crow flick, that Star Trek Renegades, Eddie Furlong, the original John Connor, also in those 2 Renegade movies. So, and part of the crew.
He's part of the constant circuit. He's a lot of
Oh, I believe that. Yeah, I wonder.
Isn't he in jail actually? Because
he was. I remember being at a show in New York, a Wizard show, and the door opened up, and in the background was the parking lot, and there was Todd Bridges and Eddie Furlong smoking cigarettes, I'm sure, but they were in the back just like smoking something. I was like, hey, look, it's Willis and John Connor. Oh, what a pair.
Yep.
And, yeah.
Good day, Spedsy. He's joining us from Australia. Nice to
come with me if you want to live. What you talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Good day, Mace. Is he in Geelong, Australia? That's where my friend lives.
Tell us what region of Australia you're in.
Near south of Melbourne. Don't say Melbourne. They get mad.
I'll be in the next few weeks, probably after the holidays. I'll be talking to my dear friend Nicola Scott. She's going to have the 3rd volume of Wonder Woman Historia.
Love Nicola. Yeah.
Oh, she's a doll. She's so great. And I love her husband too, Craig.
I thought you said you were going to go to Australia. I'm like, what?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were going there.
The only time I get to see Nicola in person, every now and then she'd do in New York, but mostly it was San Diego, and Tom Taylor too. And a lot of times I would like get a Monday flight out earlier morning. So I would just stay up late night, Sunday night. And because they're still on Australian time and stuff, they're out in front of the Hyatt just hanging out, just talking and stuff because it's nice weather. And it's like, all right, great. Now we got some time to talk. This is great. They're like, oh, shit, it's John. All right.
God. Here he comes. Pretend you're doing something. Walk away.
I ran into at San Diego. I ran into Tom Taylor because I was on New York time, so that means I was up at like 4 in the morning in New York, in California time, and he's like middle of the afternoon Australia time, whatever it is, and we're the only 2 on the pier, like in the back of the convention center, walking back and forth.
Was Todd Bridges there with Eddie Furlong smoking dope?
They were on the top steps.
Yeah, see,
that's great. Well, I'm very sorry that we lost Kirsty Alley this week. I know she's been a little batshit as far as just in general, her life in general.
Yeah.
But, here's a great picture of her and Wayne.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She was amazing.
Was she nice? Was she cool?
Oh, she's very personable. Yeah, she was.
That's great.
I heard a lot of backlash today about her at the comic shop, and I had no idea. I go in and I go, oh, isn't it a shame that, obviously anyone passes away, but I go Kirstie Alley because I thought she was very funny on some Cheers, and I liked her in Star Trek too. And then suddenly I had no idea. Everyone's like, oh, she's this, she's that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I didn't know about her personal life and her political views and all that. I'm just talking about her body of work that I enjoyed. I mean, there's a lot of weird shit out there for people, but you don't. I don't know what to say anymore.
We could separate the art from the artist.
Do you remember years ago she was married to Parker Stevenson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Absolutely.
And I remember that because she received an award. I didn't know that she was married to him until I saw her on some award show where she accepted the award and she apologized for being late because she basically was having nookie with her husband.
Oh, that's funny.
I remember that.
And she said something like, "I'm sorry," and when I realized it was nipple nipple boff boff, and we were done, and I got here.
Yes.
And she said that on TV, and I was like, "What did I just hear?"
No, listen, I thought she was great as Saavik in Star Trek 2. Of course,
right.
Cheers. I didn't care for the sequels to Look Who's Talking, but I do think the first movie is a funny movie. And then she made some crappy movies too.
Wasn't she in Summer School with Mark Harmon? Was that her?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
I believe it was the love interest, right?
Yeah, I remember that. 80s. Yep. Mark Harmon was trying to be a movie actor, but
that's it.
I believe there was a young Courtney Thorne Smith.
Yes, she was
in that movie as well.
And Carl Reiner, I think, made that movie.
Yeah,
I think he was the director. No, Summer School is a decent low budget comedy.
Teenage. 80s movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a lot of those back then. It's like
Right.
every week
And
because I would go see him.
And Mark Harmon's always likable. There's a reason why the man has had a career as long as he has.
He's the
And,
Robert Urich that lived.
Yeah, and also he, voluntarily is stepping away from NCIS because I think he's just getting up there and he just wants to stop and wants to relax.
Wow, I remember when
he's got to spend some quality time with Mindy.
I remember when he just started when he was on Flamingo Road.
Sure,
Morgan, and his dad was a football player.
Morgan Fairchild, my girlfriend, and Stella Stevens, and
his dad is Tom Harmon, the football player.
Right. That's absolutely
so. Yeah, he's a good-looking man, that Mark Harmon.
And his sister Chris married Ricky Nelson,
the singer.
And yes, absolutely.
Oh. Is she the mother?
Other Ricky Nelson.
Is she the mother of the Nelsons?
Yes, she is.
Oh. I did not know that.
It's all true. Yep.
He's been gone for many
Nelson
years.
twins. The Nelson twins.
And also the daughter, Tracy,
she's
on Square Pegs, and also with Tom Bosley, the Father Dowling mystery.
Father Dowling.
Yeah, Father Dowling. She was the nun. Yeah.
She's the nun. Yeah.
Wow. See that? The legacy.
No, the Harmon family and the Nelson family. Yeah, they did all right. And of course, Ricky's.
They harmonized Nelson did. Yeah.
Gee whiz, Harry. It looks like our kids are doing well.
Neither here nor there, but I'm going to throw it out to Johnny because he's an expert on all this old Hollywood stuff. But
I'll answer for you.
Feel free.
Like I said, how there was a lot of shit people throwing around at Kirstie Alley today, and I had no idea. Imagine if social media was around in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and even early 70s. All those actors that we revere so much,
would have been outed.
There's a lot of shit with all these people, from John Wayne to Charlie Chaplin, Groucho. I don't think there's a saint among any of these fucking people.
No.
And everyone's got something to say. And I'm like, listen, I just want you to know, the last time somebody was perfect, they put him on a cross and killed him. Okay, folks?
That's exactly right.
You got to fucking lighten up.
As Douglas said.
And you don't even know these people, which I love that. It's all because you read it or you heard about it or you saw it on the social media or whatever, the internet. Honestly, man, I'm just.
Or amazed. Like my grandmother used to say, I got a feeling.
Yeah. I don't know. So what do you think, John?
I heard something.
Is there anybody that would have been in old Hollywood that'll walk away scot-free, or they all would have been like crucified for all this shit?
Well, imagine some of the scandals that would have come out, like Rock Hudson when he had AIDS,
right?
And that came out and stuff like that.
They found out about that.
Tab Hunter's dirty secret. Poor the kid actor Tommy Kirk. Tommy Kirk from all the Disney movies.
No, the kid that died in Skid Row and they buried him in a pauper's grave. That kid.
No, I believe if Tommy Kirk died, it was recently. Because in the early aughts, he was still showing up on Disney documentaries. But Tommy Kirk was one of those teen Disney kids.
Oh.
He's the Shaggy Dog. He was the original Shaggy Dog, stuff like that. And then he made a couple beach movies as well. But he was a gay kid, and he was messing around with another gay boy. And the mother found out and went to Disney, and he immediately got fired from Disney.
Oh, no shit.
Mid-career, absolutely. And he was really good.
I found out today, remember Alias Smith and Jones?
Sure, Peter Duell.
I didn't know Peter Duell killed himself.
Yeah.
Somebody told me that today. I was like, what happened to him? They go, he got into drugs, and then it was not pretty. And then I didn't know he killed himself. So.
He and Ben Murphy were Alias Smith and Jones.
Ben Murphy.
And it was a really funny Western in the early 70s. And like second season, Peter Duell killed himself. Yeah. One of those tragedies. No, you're right, Mitch. I mean, no, absolutely. And I mean, and then there are degrees. In fact, I had no idea, but like Jimmy Stewart, I love Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, come on. There's no bad Jimmy Stewart stories.
Well, apparently.
Those pedals.
I'll tell the story. Woody Strode, apparently working with Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne on The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. Woody Strode's like, yeah, Jimmy Stewart was kind of uncomfortable around me. And he assumed because he was a black gentleman. So
okay.
I know. Yeah. You know what? I gotta go back to the trailer. You'll excuse me. Jesus, do we have to work with that guy? So I don't know. But
I could get Sam Jaffe. He could put something on. He did it in Gunga Din.
Exactly. Poor Sam Jaffe. Absolutely. Ben Casey. But it's ironic. Everyone says, with the exception of Woody Strode, that Jimmy Stewart was like the nicest guy in the world, and so many
Right.
great stories about him. Henry Fonda, but Jimmy Stewart also ultra conservative.
Mhm.
Henry Fonda, ultra liberal. Not too many nice stories about Henry Fonda and stuff. So,
Really?
I heard he was a dick. Yeah.
The
daughter.
GAF Viewmaster.
Yeah. Henry Fonda.
Come on, he made a mod. Henry Fonda. You know what? Speaking of, we were just talking about Ethan Phillips being on Benson.
Yeah.
7th season. There's a 2-part Benson episode guest starring George Kennedy as himself. He is supposedly Benson's character's good army buddy, and he's making a film about being a governor, and a murder happens. Wow, a very special Benson. Who knew?
Here's one for you, Star Trek related. Gene Roddenberry.
Right.
A lot of demons.
Creator of Star Trek.
Lot of demons in his closet. Supposedly, yes. I've read about.
Oh yeah.
Yet makes this show about a utopia with multiracial characters, multisexual characters. So do they disown that? Do you hear a lot of backlash about Roddenberry? Or do they look or do they look the other way a little bit and go, well, he gave us this, so we're gonna forgive that.
I believe the younger generation that likes Star Trek and all its values are very happy to wag a finger at the ghost of Gene Roddenberry for his behavior. And God, even Janeway, Kate Mulgrew, was not very kind about Gene Roddenberry.
Yeah, but he was dead by the time she was on the show.
I'm aware of that, but yet she's still. I mean, and frankly, it's like, listen, everybody has their opinion. Everyone can speak their mind. It's fine, but it is kind of almost to me ungrateful, given the amount of positive things that happened in her career.
Yeah.
So I'm not even going to answer your question. God bless you. But
I don't know.
The answer is no. Doubt. The answer is Peter Fonda. I will, because actually there is an understandable mistake there. Dot said, wasn't Henry Fonda in one of the Nick Cage?
No, that was Peter Fonda. He played the devil. Yeah,
he played the original Western Ghost Rider and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't. Mr. Roberts is such a good movie. You don't want to say anything about that.
I love Mr. Roberts. Again, you got to separate the art from the artist. I'm sorry.
It's hard nowadays. It's hard to say you like.
Well, you're right, because unfortunately, all the dirty laundry comes out. Absolutely. So, but
I like Franco, but God knows when that book comes out.
I would not buy that book.
Go without.
I'm not finished writing it.
No, Mr. Vic, you're right. Everybody has an opinion. I'm here to get comics while I listen to the gossip. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Ezra, I agree with you, man. Yeah, Alfalfa. We were talking about that on the the other night. No, absolutely. And again, it's on YouTube. Watch the True Hollywood Story about the Little Rascals. And
he was drunk. Yeah.
Well, he also, as a little kid, first of all, was a biter, which it's always charming to hear that. But also, when they made him one of the main focuses of the shorts, it really went to his head, and he was a real jerk. He was a real jerk. So,
poor Froggy got run over by a car.
Oh, Doctor, I believe was his final.
Trying to cross the street. He was going in. Oh, no, that's the game. Sorry.
Watch out. I'm right here. Don't run me. Ah! Anybody hear anything?
Nice.
Like Robert Blake. Whatever happened to Robert Blake? You don't hear about him ever since
jail.
Whacked his. No, he didn't go to jail, did he? Oh, they did put him in jail.
Yeah,
You're right.
They did.
You're right. They did put him in jail. Yeah.
I agree with Doubt. I enjoy Roddenberry shows. He says Trek and Andromeda were fun shows. Jane may have been an ass. He made good stuff. I
never watched Andromeda.
I even like those crappy pilot movies that he made with John Saxon, and I forget who was the other one.
The Spectre?
No, Spectre's a good movie.
That's a good movie. I was going to say
really good movie. That's
Alex Cord.
Yes, Alex Cord. Hold on. Let's separate the Roddenberrys there. Earth 2 was the concept. John Saxon made one movie, Alex Cord made the other, but it was basically the same concept.
And they
And Spectre is a supernatural ghost hunter show with Robert Culp and poor Gig Young right before he died.
Boom. Yeah. And he took his wife out too, didn't he? Killed his wife and then himself.
I don't remember that. I just know his Gig Young's first wife was Elizabeth Montgomery.
No. Was Gig Young the guy from Twilight Zone that falls off the merry-go-round? Is that Gig Young? Yeah, he killed his wife and then himself.
Yeah, that may be, but I'm telling you, he prior to that was married to Elizabeth Montgomery.
So that's a great show.
Yes.
The two movies were Earth 2 and Brave New World.
Earth 2, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah.
John Saxon, very underappreciated.
Oh yeah.
The amount of fantastic cheese.
He's in everything, right?
Cannibal Apocalypse. Watch that. Has John Saxon.
Hey,
what
he's
is it called?
Cannibal Apocalypse.
Cannibal Apocalypse. He's in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
He's the original evil robot that fights Steve Austin.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. Just died this year. He was like 90 something, I believe.
Yeah. He's in, again, we were talking about this last night on.
He died in 2020. He died 2 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, was it that young?
He's in this great documentary about Italian crime movies, and it's called Euro Crime. And and it's the group of people that are in it are really interesting. Michael Wilding, who played Apollo in the original series episode, Who Mourns for Adonis, and also Antonio Sabato Sr.
Oh,
Senior.
Senior.
He made a lot of Italian crime movies, and the late Henry Silva.
Yeah, another good actor.
Great, really, and Fred Williamson.
Didn't he just died recently too?
This year.
Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of that died this year.
Yeah.
Fred Williamson's still with us, I believe.
Fred Williamson is still with us. Mitch, I'd love to see Fred Williamson at Terrificon. I have no idea what his name is, and maybe it's too much. But
we should do our list of dream convention, because I have my list too of what I want to see.
And again, I'm always trying to think of good panels, and what I would do is
Joan Severance.
Please, yes, please. David Walker, the great comic writer and also great film historian, interview Fred about his body of work and everything, because that's the right guy to do it.
I pitched the ones you don't think you're going to get. I tried to get Michael Giacchino this week, the composer and director of Werewolf by Night, because he's never done it. I know a friend who was a friend of his, and we talked, and I said, he's never done a convention. And he goes, well, I could ask him. I go, the answer's always no until you ask. So who knows? Maybe he'll say, yeah, what the
That'd be great, man. That'd be great.
Yeah. I had that kid that was, what?
Okay.
No, I said I had the kid that was the Ryan Mind Nerding, who's the art director of all the Marvel
I did a panel
Disney
with him
stuff.
Yeah,
I had him. I was the first convention he did. I wrote to him. He's like, what? Really? Nobody asked me. He flew out to Connecticut. I put him and his wife and kid up, and I did the panel. And he showed us this great slideshow, and he was walking around, and he was just like us. He was talking to Kevin McGuire. He was talking to Mike DiCarlo. He was so fanboying out on all these artists and writers that he read and grew up with. And they're like, oh my God, you're this guy. They knew his work. And he's like, oh, I'm nobody. And I remember McGuire's like, no, here, take some prints and we'll
that's nice.
And he was like shocked that these guys knew who he was and they were in awe of him. And he's like, really? I'm like, dude, you're amazing talent out there,
His coffee table books about each of the Marvel movies.
Yep, I got them right there.
Are so amazing. And I did a panel with him at C2E2. And it was a lot of fun. And the people loved it because, as you said, he shows his slides of his conceptual art. And I'm like, this is great. Can we videotape this? No. And again, because of NDAs. And like, can I at least put the audio out of this? No. And I'm all right, well, we had a nice conversation.
He had a thumb drive with his slideshow. And I said, oh, do you want to put it on my laptop? He's like, no. And it was like he was so worried about somebody making a copy of it.
Because, man. That's
no. But he did Dante's Inferno. They were going to make a movie of it. And he did
a volcano movie.
No.
Excuse me. You mean the myth.
The actual Italian poet.
Right. I'm with you.
So he made all the drawings of what purgatory would look like and all the 7 layers of hell. And he had amazing artwork, and they never made the movie, but he had all the pre-production artwork, stills or whatever you want to call it. But
these days you could find all 7 layers of hell in the Taco Bell chalupa. So I recommend you.
Is that that's one of your sponsor voices right now?
Yeah.
If this was color commentary
in New Jersey,
if this was color commentary on a baseball game, suddenly John would be like, Oh, and you got a hit there on second base. And speaking of 7-layer, anybody, and they would have this little backstory in between the pitches. It's like, oh
Now
yeah,
this seventh inning stretch is brought to you by Taco Bell and the brand new
Chalupa.
Phil Rizzuto would do that all the time out there in the
Absolutely,
Yankee game. You're watching the Yankee game. He's like, oh, I got to tell you, I had some meatballs last night over at Chicano's Meatballs over in Brooks and the Bronx. You got to try. Oh, and there's a hit. And it would just go right back.
Oh, yeah.
It.
Tommy Lasorda, when he would guest star or come in as a guest at this All Sports station, he had his pet Chicago businesses that he would get free stuff from.
And he'd plug them?
Yeah, he'd get dress shirts from Harf, Schaffner and Marks.
Yeah.
He would get free pizza from Connie's Pizza, which was a good restaurant and pizza franchise here in Chicago. And always, absolutely, man.
You need to do that on the show, Johnny.
I need to get more sponsors that would give me that opportunity. Boy, I had a great energy drink from my good friends at Liquid Death. Let's enjoy a can of Liquid Death right now. So yeah, it's sad but true.
We need to start plugging.
Speaking of baseball, have you guys watched Wednesday on Netflix?
Not yet, man. And God, Wayne, you showed this awesome picture of the actor on the red carpet. And my God, I thought for sure that was Christina Ricci.
Yeah,
no, that was the girl. That's what I was telling you.
Jenny Ortega, is it?
Yeah,
Jenna.
Ortega?
Yeah.
Hey, you should get her for the con.
Yes, please.
With everybody.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm sure her feet just like skyrocketed.
Oh yeah.
Oh, is the series good?
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I drew this too.
Stand by.
He did that.
I saw that. Hold on. There we go.
Yeah,
oh, nice going.
Yeah,
that looks almost like a gentleman playing Wednesday.
No,
and the dance that she does in the series, people are now mimicking it online.
It's better than this one, I think. It's better than this one.
Stand by.
Hey, that's me. 9 years ago.
Yikes!
Hey, I ran a 5K. I finished. I can't remember what.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yesterday.
Good for
Yesterday.
You.
That was years ago, and then I fucked my knee up, and that's the end of that. And then I got fat.
What's the name of that tune? Your little Robert.
I loved Wednesday a lot. Actually, you guys should watch it. A little predictable.
No, it's fun.
But loved it. But it's a lot of fun.
Did they finish it? It's Netflix, so all the episodes are up, obviously.
Yeah. But it's going to have a second season. It's doing big numbers right now.
Okay. When do we think Netflix is going to adopt the weekly episode thing?
I don't know.
They should now, because that's the only thing they're going to do to keep subscribers. Because
and I don't think I have no idea what's going on with Netflix, and I mean, obviously economically, there's a lot of don't pay attention to that man behind the curtain. But that said, all the other streamers are smart, because the water cooler chatter about a streaming show lasts longer when it's episodic.
Right.
Like Allison Baker and I were talking about it last week, and she was part of the Winona Earp crew on Sci-Fi Channel, and she's like, network TV figured that out years ago. It's better to be episodic because the string is longer than. Hey, it was really fun as a novelty when Netflix initially said, here's the whole season. Here you go. Enjoy it. But really, you compare it to, look at The Boys. Look at even, we've been enjoying Tulsa King 4 episodes in.
Andor.
Well, I've heard the arguments on the other side, who, like, I guess people that don't have anything else to do, like, will sit and binge the entire thing, and I'm like, I just can't do that.
I don't like doing that.
Normal people don't have that kind of time. I'm sorry, everybody.
And you
no
don't
disrespect, but it's true.
And I don't think you really enjoy the show for what it is, because you're starting to rush through it and you fall asleep come on, some of these are 7 or 8 hours. That's a long block of time to be sitting.
Willow is. I watched the first episode. It was okay. I watched the second episode. I couldn't do it.
I fell asleep. I fell asleep during the second one. Yeah.
Yeah. It was brutal. I don't know. I can't. I'm tapped out. I thought I tried.
Yeah. The only thing I watched all at once was those Tales of the Jedi, but they were only like 15-minute long. Yeah. So it's like, 2 hours. That's a movie. That's fine.
Sure. His Dark Materials is a lot better than Willow. And they're on their 3rd season. It's the final season. And
Willow, look, let's be honest.
Let's talk about Willow.
Willow, the original movie, wasn't a great movie. It was entertaining, but it wasn't like I never saw it again. I saw it once.
I
and
hear
that
you.
was
I
it.
watched
I'm
it.
good.
I watched it again a few months ago when I heard that they were going to make the thing, and I told my son, I said, "Oh, we got to watch this because the series is going to come out, so let's watch it. Have you ever seen it?" He goes, "No." So we sat down and watched it. And I was all excited. I'm watching this thing, and I'm like, "Wow, this is not good."
Yeah.
Smart.
I did the same thing with my kids. I put it on. They couldn't get through 30 minutes of it. They're like, I can't watch this. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know. Some
And-
things are better in your memory.
So I forced my kid to sit there the entire time and watch it. He wanted to leave multiple times, but I wouldn't let him.
Yeah, that's child abuse.
Wayne,
But,
what were you, both of you, and I know Mitch, you saw it too. Tell me about your experience watching the reboot or whatever.
I'll give Warwick Davis credit. He looks great. I mean, he was 17 in the first Willow, so he's in his 50s now or late 40s?
Something like that. Yeah,
so, God bless him. He's great. And then
big fan. Love him.
Joanne Whaley.
Wally.
She's in it, and the girl that plays, they have a boy and a girl. Whoever the actress is, she's beautiful. She got short hair. She's like a warrior type thing, and the brother's more like Val Kilmer. He's like,
wasn't Joanne Wally married to Val Kilmer?
They got married. They met each other on Willow. They had 2 kids. They got divorced in '98. But the cast is fine. They had that one actress who I complained about. She was from Solo, and she was in Winter Soldier and Falcon. She's got a lot of freckles on her face and red curly hair, and she's playing the same part again. It's like, I want to be a strong warrior person, but I'm being held back, and I'm like, whatever. I can't take
being typecast.
And Flash Thompson's in it from the Spider-Man movie. The new kid. But it's so weird. It takes you out of it when you realize it's Flash Thompson, because they're all supposed to be this like sword and sorcery thing, and he's like, hey man. I'm like, wait, that's you.
I'd rather go watch Chris Pine's D&D movie that's coming out.
Yeah,
I saw that. I saw the
because it looks really funny, and this just looks. It's so.
I have one question in that D&D movie. If one of the characters dies, is it immediately replaced by another character who looks exactly like that person?
Probably. Well,
it depends on what you roll on your dice.
They do that in the trailer. I saw. He's like, oh, I'm this, and I also can play a flute. And it's like, what the hell's that? So somebody's like writing. Maybe it's like Jumanji. Maybe there is like a.
Well, no, because he's
dungeon master.
It's the line from the trailer. What do you do? Oh, I make plans. Well, and then okay, and if the plan goes sideways, I make another plan. So then the person says, "So you make terrible plans."
Yes.
Based on that alone, I might not watch it.
I like how they already have the sequels planned, because it's Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Amongst Thieves subtitle. So they're already like, oh, we're gonna have a whole series of these movies.
Hopefully, it's a better franchise than the
Star Trek.
aborted King Arthur. No, I'm talking about. We got a big franchise coming up. The Universal reboot with the Mummy went nowhere. I was just saying it. The
Monsterverse. It's called the Monsterverse.
Yeah, the Monsterverse. But what was? King Arthur. Warner Brothers with King Arthur.
That was supposed to be a bunch of movies.
Of course, they were going to focus on every one of the Knights of the Round Table. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Indiana Jones went nowhere. Oh wait, no, that one's coming out.
Oh, that went somewhere actually.
Don't start that.
Here, I don't want to, because again, I don't want to wrap up before acknowledging.
No, that's fine. I was supposed to be on a podcast about Indiana Jones, but they got canceled tonight. So.
Oh, bummer. But it's the 31st anniversary this week of Star Trek 6. The Undiscovered Country.
Let's flip the dogs of war.
Yeah, it's your favorite line. Absolutely.
I could have swore Voyage Home was a Christmas movie too. No.
Well, again, I don't know what week and what year it came out, and maybe in a couple weeks we might get that anniversary. But this week, regardless, is Star Trek 6. And am I right, Wayne? Is it the most Canadian of the Star Trek films, given Shatner and Chris Plummer being
the most Canadian?
Oh, and James Doohan.
Of course, James Doohan. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Scottish.
I would say there's 3 of the three.
Oh, right there.
Kim Cattrall.
A really good
Kim Cattrall.
Yeah.
Is she Canadian? She's
Kim's also Canadian.
Wow.
Oh my God. It's a conspiracy
of Canadians.
That was just a guess on my part.
No, you're right. Okay, I got the release dates. November 26th was The Voyage Home.
Okay. I remember.
And December 7th was a motion picture.
Right.
Yep, that was a Christmas
everything
movie.
else was released in
So
Everything
today
else-
is the let's do the math. 79,
45, 44.
43, 79.
42,
Close.
41.
I was told there'd be no math today.
Hike.
Um,
God, what a crappy Christmas that was. I remember Superman was the year before, and then there's Close Encounters of the Third Kind. So it was always good Christmas movies, and we all went to go see Star Trek: The Motion Picture for Christmas, and it sucked.
I just
did.
found it long. But the
It
4K version that they've released, the director's cut, really nice.
Yeah, but my dad was like, "This is a piece of crap." I'm like, "Yeah, I know, Dad." See, we're more patient for these movies. We're more lenient. We'll forgive. When you got older people, they were like, "What a piece of crap this is."
I
What
told
the
you.
hell?
I told you when I saw Galaxy Quest with my old college roommate, there were two guys in their 60s, and 10 minutes into the movie, one guy goes, "All right, I had enough. How about you?" And they walked out of the movie.
My wife and I went to the movies once, and there was an older couple sitting right in front of us, and the trailer started up, and they were directly in front of us. So every time a trailer came up, they were very polite. They didn't speak, but every time a trailer came up and finished, they would look at each other and they would go like this, both of them together. So like they weren't going to go see that one, and then another one would come up and they both go like that. So I knew which ones they were going to go see next. So that was funny.
You should have tracked.
So now
my wife
and I
were a big hit.
My wife and I, whenever we're at the movies and we see a trailer we like, we look at each other and go,
Nice, outstanding. I love Star Trek 6. Here's a great scene with David Warner and Shatner. And again, what I love about Star Trek and the better Star Trek TV shows and movies, you don't need that show that movie has so little action. You got the bird of prey covertly firing at David Warner's Klingon ship.
So you got hearing problems, mister? Yeah, Sulu.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Fly her apart then.
Christian Slater.
And you got the end where the Excelsior and the Enterprise are fighting the bird of prey. That's it. Otherwise,
you don't
2 hours of talk. Lots of talk.
But it's a good movie.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's interesting ideas. And because it's the 6th movie, you get the great moment where again, they're on HBO Max, unfortunately, not Paramount. But I was watching 6 last month, and that opening with first of all, you get Praxis explodes and you get Sulu. And so that's technically, I guess, an action scene. But you get that great meeting with all the admirals and the captains and stuff, and Spock makes his pitch. We volunteered. And that great interchange of Spock and Kirk disagreeing. And it's like, you should have asked me first. Jim, they're dying. Let them die.
Yep.
That's awesome, man. That is the height of, and again, it's been burning in James Byrne since the original series. Don't trust them. Don't believe them. All those elements are there, and it's a payoff that started in the mid-'60s. I mean, that's why I love Undiscovered Country so much. Or God, when Iman kisses Kirk, and McCoy goes, "What is it with you? You're tough. Jesus, man, you jump on anything." And of course, when she is a Cameloid and she makes herself look like Kirk, and he goes, "I can't believe I kissed you." And he goes, "Must have been your lifelong dream." That's a great movie. And they wanted, of course, we mentioned what's her face?
Savick. Yeah, Valeric was supposed to be
they wanted it to be Savick originally.
And why did they change that? What was the reason?
I don't know, but I like it.
I thought Savick would have been the better choice. I mean, that would have been like real fucked up, reveal.
Oh, God, yeah. Especially considering that she and Spock did the nasty in 3.
That's right. What did they do? What did they do with Savick in the expanded universe, Johnny? In the books, where is she?
They got
Dead of Honor.
See
If
what?
you want to go to the comic books, Dead of Honor has, I believe, the Savick storyline.
And also a couple of the books did too. And I believe they got married. I believe Spock and Savick got married.
No way. Really?
In one of the books, yeah.
Oh, wow. I
want to
didn't
say
see that coming.
Vulcan's Heart. There was a trilogy of books that I think really explored the Spock-Savick relationship.
Did Spock have any offspring in the books?
Yes, there was a great non-canonical novel called Time for Yesterday from the original series when they went back all of our yesterdays, the second to last Star Trek episode where he and McCoy are in the ice age of that.
Oh, Marion Hartley.
Marion Hartley and
Yeah.
got down and had a baby.
Yeah, baby.
Or yesterday's Son, and then the sequel was Time for Yesterday. But Yesterday's Son is when they go back and they pull him out of the timeline, and Spock has a son.
So he's half human and half Vulcan, or three-quarter human.
Exactly. I don't know. I was told there'd be no math today, but yeah,
exactly.
He's a quarter Vulcan.
Yeah, I thought she's supposed to be half and half.
Who was she? Was
Savick?
Oh no, we're talking about Hart.
Oh, sorry, Hart. Okay,
Vulcan.
Yeah,
Marianne Hartley was all.
Oh yeah,
whatever that planet was, and of course, Spock's child would be a quarter human and a quarter Vulcan.
She was something else too. That
I gotta lie down now for that math. Yeah, absolutely. No, Marianne Hartley looks amazing in that.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, again, the novels have so many great stories, and that's why I'm always happy to talk to Michael Jan Friedman about it, and other writers, Keith Candidio. I spoke to him and stuff, and David Gerald, of course.
So those deleted scenes with Rene Auberjonois as Colonel North, I think his character was. Did those get reincorporated into like a new cut of the film, or is that still on the cut?
No, I think there's still bonus
because Brock Peters was behind the whole assassination attempt on the president. Yeah, but then that really wasn't a Romulan. It was actually Rene Auberjonois.
No. He was a Klingon. He was a fake Klingon.
It was a fake. Okay, I remember there was something about it. Oh, look, it's not a real.
He shot him.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing like holding the guy for questioning. Maybe he could have said it for stun.
Well, but he was about to shoot the president. He had to shoot him.
Stun.
He did the right thing.
He did the right thing.
No grassy knoll.
Scotty shot first. Absolutely.
I always love the Kirk flying through the air and tackling, and then it's like it's T.J. Hooker. He goes, "Kirk, Enterprise." It's like, what the fuck does that mean?
That's the guy fantastic. No way in hell could Shatner. That's total CGI. No way in hell could Shatner pull off that flying leap.
That's a stunt man.
No, they got the wire work going. It'd just be like in the Matrix.
John Schuck was in that whole the trial.
Klingon ambassador.
Yeah, when they had a Klingon trial out there.
Yes.
And Michael Dorn was there too as the counselor.
That's right. Counselor Worf.
Worf's
grandfather. Yeah. Camp Kittimer, or whatever it was.
So something just popped up in my feed that I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say Kurtwood Smith from that 70s show. The president, dumbass. What do you got, Francis? What popped up?
Something just popped up in my feed that says, according to the Hollywood Reporter, Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman 3 is officially dead. Henry Cavill's Man of Steel 2 is unlikely. Aquaman 2 will be Jason Momoa's last film as Aquaman, and the Black Adam sequel is not happening. Matt Reeves' The Batman universe remains untouched.
Well, that's probably accurate. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
what about Shazam? They got that.
That's
movie
coming out.
It's coming out. So
yeah, but
in March,
number 3. Yeah.
Well, let's see what number 2 is like.
Well, James Gunn's coming in there, so maybe James Gunn's going to wipe the slate clean and start over, which wouldn't be a bad thing.
No, absolutely not.
Just throw all that shit out.
That Black Adam didn't do well enough to merit a sequel.
It wasn't that good. Did they really expect it to do $1 billion? I mean, I'm sitting there going,
Well, again, any film any film company that comes out of the gate and goes, we need to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of assholes. That is an unrealistic expectation that Marvel and Star Wars was able to achieve based on years of hits. You can't walk in and go, we're going to make $1 billion.
James Cameron and Avatar 2. I don't think that's going to make the money.
I hear you, man, and I don't disagree. And I read an advanced review today that was a very positive review.
Oh, okay.
We'll see what happens. But I agree with you, Mitch. I am not interested in that movie.
No, but I asked my son, I go, you want me to buy advance tickets? Because I saw the commercial and he's home. He's like, no. I'm like, you say, I don't.
Are you and Ordway going to see it or no?
Ordway wants to see it. I said, I don't want to go. He's like, come on. We review
you
all
have
these
to
movies.
go.
No, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you do. So I can listen to the thing. I can listen to your review while I'm doing stuff.
Man. Absolutely.
Come on. Me going, oh, this sucks.
Exactly. I want to hear that.
I pre-recorded an interview. Sorry, real fast, buddy, because this involves.
Go ahead.
I pre-recorded an interview with Jeff Johns because Stargirl's the finale of the show.
Tonight, yeah.
Yeah, it's tonight as we're recording this. And Jeff was kind enough to send me an advanced look at the final episode. They stuck the landing, but I was talking to Jeff about his newest JSA comics, and he's working with Mikkel Janine on the JSA comic. And I go, God, I got to tell you, there are pages in there that look like Jerry Ordway. And he goes, that is true. He goes, that is Jerry Ordway. He goes, Jerry did sequences.
No, and Jerry just got another gig for the next issue. He's doing it now. And I go, is it the next issue out in like 3 weeks? He goes, yeah. So he's drawing like a maniac right now. He got a new script from Jeff to do some more pages in it. Yeah.
Doubt asks, aren't they kind of jumping the gun because between Blu-ray and 4K HD sales before all the pennies are coming out?
Those do not bring in the big bucks anymore with streaming services.
Yeah, and further, you're right about that. And further, it sounds like again James Gunn is really coming in, and it's like, no, I'm the new guy. We're going in different directions.
It's a smart plan. Yeah.
Again, we were last week. We were talking about how great Guardians of the Galaxy was, the holiday special.
Yeah,
the guy gets it. I mean, and again, Peacemaker, excuse me, and Suicide Squad. Yeah, it's great stuff, man. It's great stuff. So,
he doesn't take it too seriously. He realizes it's a comic book. I mean, even with Guardians, I mean, you got to talk a raccoon, but it's good, but it's also fantasy.
But it takes good storytelling. You can't do this shit by committee. When you do it by committee, it ruins
the first Suicide Squad movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh God, that was
by committee.
Green Lantern. Ryan Reynolds, Green Lantern.
Green Lantern. I thought Green Lantern should have been the Star Wars of DC Comics. I was so excited with the whole core, and they could have done multiple movies. And then when that movie came out, I sat there, the lights came. I said, "They fucking just ruined this movie. There goes all that shit." And everyone's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Because I love the Green Lantern, and this was not the movie that they should have done." And that's
Jeff has introduced in his new Justice Society comics some really interesting ideas from the past that are stories that we never heard about the JSA. And one of them is from 1951 that a Red Lantern shows up in 1951.
That would be cool.
It was great talking to Jeff. I love Stargirl. I'm very sorry that it's done.
Yeah.
But they stuck the landing. I won't spoil. But it's
3 seasons is nothing to sneeze at.
Absolutely.
No, it was a great show. And Owen Wilson, what's his brother's name? Luke Wilson.
Wow.
He did a nice job as Stripey and all that.
That's
the
only invitation I do. Owen
Joel
Wilson.
Joel McHale as Starman. Yeah.
And the interplay between Luke Wilson and Joel McHale this year in particular has been incredible. And again, I won't spoil if you're a couple episodes behind. But the second, again,
I'm all the episodes behind.
I hate the word penultimate because people.
Is it Lois and Superman? Is that the only show they have left now? Superman and Lois. That's
right? I'm trying to think of.
Flash
I think Flash is still
one more season.
They're going to run the
Flash that's wrapping up. So
yeah, and from what I'm hearing in the background, this is likely unless HBO Max has a different plan. And James Gunn has a different plan. This is likely the last season of Superman and Lois as well.
Didn't Warner Brothers just make a deal with Amazon about animation, like doing some animation over at Amazon or something like that? They're looking to
whatever happened to that
stuff.
What happened to that new Bruce Timm Batman thing that they were working on? They were
right.
going to do that was like 2 years now.
I know. I keep hoping to either hear from James Tucker or in terms of the word is that those might still happen on other networks like what Franco is describing.
Yeah, but you know what sucks though? Conroy's gone, and I think he was going to be Batman again. So
I don't know about that.
I thought it was going to be like in the same universe.
I don't know. No, I would not. Based on the fact that it is, and Matt Reeves, is part of that mix as well. Although it is Bruce Timm, James Tucker, and Ed as well. I don't know. Mr. Vic points out, of course, we've got another season of
Doom Patrol, Titans.
Titans is still running.
Peacemaker 2 is supposed to happen.
Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me if the things that are currently in production or that are about to be shown would likely be the last iterations. The CW is blowing up.
Yeah.
Nexstar the current owners of the CW are going to change their programming dramatically.
That Ordway told me that it's going to go to mostly live, like reality stuff, like talent shows and shit. Yeah,
A lot cheaper to produce.
It's cheaper. Yeah.
Yep. So
they don't have anything, do they? I mean, there's no more scripted stuff on that network, is there?
Well, currently they've got Walker, and they've got a Walker.
Oh yeah, Walker.
They got a Supernatural spinoff.
Yeah, that's the one that I think is on the bubble, the Winchester show.
Oh, really?
And also, they're doing Kung Fu, and that was another show that they made. But yeah, no, I think all those shows are about to go away, and I don't think they're going to migrate to HBO Max anytime soon. That's what I was asking Jeff was there a potential for season 4 for Stargirl to be on HBO Max? He's like, nope. And again, you'll see when you see the final episode that they wrap up the series, but they do a good job of it. They really do.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very.
I gotta go back and watch. Yeah,
this season, dude, I thought the second season was a little wonky with Eclipso and Stargirl. This season, it's the Ultra Humanite is the big bad, and Joel McHale is essentially part of the cast this year, and it's great. It's great, and it's really, really interesting.
I got to catch up.
I like what
Titans,
they did with
Doom
the Shade.
Patrol and Stargirl. Yeah,
the Shade is amazing. The guy they cast to be the Shade is outstanding. That's the thing, man. It really, first of all, Jeff gets obviously Stargirl, who he created, and the JSA and Infinity and everybody else, but James Robinson has been a co-executive producer, and this season in particular really takes a lot of pages from his Golden Age story that he did back in the I think that was early 2000s or late 90s.
Starman.
Yeah. And Starman and everything. No, it's so obvious that they leaned on Jeff and James's knowledge of these characters. And yeah, Jeff couldn't say enough great things about James today. Really. So I hope to talk to James in the near future, because it was
Warner Brothers. I could have swore I heard they might be starting the Harry Potter stuff, because that's them. They own that.
Yeah,
they might just be going, hey, the comic stuff's not working out like we thought it was going to be, and Marvel stuff's kind of maybe oversaturated too. So maybe they're just going to go in a new direction. No, I'm just saying. Other than Batman, what other thing? What other big movie?
No, and especially the way James Gunn is talking and showing us pictures of Kingdom Come. Mitch, every bad movie is 2 years away from being fixed. Every bad attempt at a superhero movie. Those DC heroes are far too valuable for them to go, it's enough. Warner Bros. Yeah, enough with the superheroes.
Well, Disney took a cooling off period with the Star Wars movies. Maybe it just needs a couple years.
Yeah, yes.
Look at what they came back with. Yeah.
And they've done nothing but shit out television.
Yeah, TV.
Rise of Sky. Yeah, but Mitch, that doesn't mean it's sitting and being idle. They are using the IP. I guarantee. God love you, Mitch, but you're wrong, man. I'm sorry.
Yelled at right now, Mitch. Wow.
I'm just saying.
You're not thinking sensibly. You're not.
I'm just saying, like the X-Men movie, they didn't jump into those. They're going to wait a while before they start those up again.
That's
maybe
one.
They need to take. Maybe they need to take a breather and say, until we get this all figured out.
You are not thinking correctly and getting yelled at right now.
I'm going to say the first James Gunn superhero movie doesn't come out for like 2 years, 3 years.
2 years. What did I just say, Mitch? It takes 2 years to fix bad movies. God damn it. I love you, man.
Wow.
Blue Beetle's coming out. I saw them post that the other day.
That's less than 2 years.
No, it's coming out next year, and I'm like, okay, I don't want to get anyone upset. No one gives a fuck about the Blue Beetle. Okay, it's a
Cully does.
comic.
Cully cares about it.
Nobody gave a shit about
Black Adam.
Nobody gave a shit about Guardians of the Galaxy either.
Yeah,
2 years.
I don't say this often, but I'm gonna side with Johnny on this one. So
yeah, stop. Okay, when are those Star Trek movies coming out again, Johnny? They're doing TV.
2 years. 2 years.
And Mitch, it's not just movies. It's movies and TV. I'm sorry. I again, you are thinking like 90s thinking and early 2000s thinking. It's a different world.
All right.
It's a different
I'm
world.
just sitting there thinking, they're like, wow, we've really screwed this up. We got to get this out of people's minds and start from scratch. and it's going to take a while.
But 2 years is not a while. It's
Henry Cavill's not going to come back in 2 years because he'll be like 50 by then. So they're going to be a new Superman.
Maybe there's room for him in the Kingdom Come plan where you have a 50-year-old Superman.
Oh no, get Brandon Ralph.
Brandon Ralph again.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
He was great on the CW. I thought they were going to do something with that, but they didn't. As the older Superman with the gray hair and stuff. What are you going to do?
Henry's only 39.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
Well, he looks a lot older.
Ephraim thoughts
Jason Momoa's love. Yes.
That would be great.
Yep.
And Doubt says it's Cully's take, obviously, on the character. And Andrew Cosby as well, with the kid from Cobra Kai starring in Blue Beetle. I heard this was supposed to be an HBO Max production, similar to the canceled Batman film, but I guess Gunn pushed for a theatrical release. Until movies are announced, everything's in the mix. The guy just took over. He's looking over property.
Give me my phone. I'm calling.
I read.
I'm calling Sean Gunn right now and asking him to call his brother.
There you go. Exactly, man. Yes, call him up.
I read some rumor about the Batgirl people talking to James Gunn.
I saw that story as well. Yeah.
No.
But yeah.
See right there. I'm not gonna put his phone. Oh, jeez! I just called him.
Yeah. What are you doing?
I just called Sean Gunn by accident.
Nice.
Sorry,
I'm never giving you my number again.
I know, to be like, what the fuck, Mitch? Why is Mitch calling me? Mitch, it's Sean. Are you talking about my brother? Yeah.
He was very good on the Guardians holiday special, Sean.
If someone free framed that, they got his phone number right there. So
oh, man.
Don't worry, it didn't. I think it was blurry enough.
No, sorry. I can't believe I called him.
I can't believe you showed the screen.
I can't believe he's calling back.
Oh my God.
You want to call Sean Flannery? Got him too. Let's call young.
I told you, man. You got to make a gap year movie with Sean Patrick Flannery as Indy. I agree with Artie. Artie's right about that. Artie Franco.
Yeah.
Artie Franco. Artie Balthazar. Now can we make that his stage?
Oh, all right. The show real quick. The show is going to be on tonight. We're going to talk about the Indiana Jones 5 trailer. And the guy was like, Indiana Jones was never supposed to be this. It's supposed to be
Phoebe, what's her name?
No, they were talking about how the character was wasted over the last 40 years, and it was supposed to be single movies like, James Bond. They were never supposed to be all interconnected. Other people could have played the character. It's not all Harrison Ford. They ruined this whole project, and the guy's going nuts about it. And I'm sitting there going, hey, man, it is what it is, okay? Sure. They didn't do those other movies. They only did these 5 coming out to be 5.
They brought back Sean Connery for Never Say Never again.
Yeah. And he's like, why did somebody else play the character? I'm like, okay, it didn't happen. So stop. Okay, stop.
I felt really bad. I was talking to Gabe Hardman off the air because he did the storyboards for Indy 5.
Yeah.
And I started to tell him about all these YouTubers that are just shitting on the new Indy movie just based on what they've seen in the trailer and all the rumors and stuff. And he's like, John, I'm going to stop you now. I don't even want to talk about it. And I'm like, you're right. I'm so sorry, man. I felt horrible about it. Because, I'm like, I'm with you. And I agree that these guys are idiots. He goes, then why waste the air talking about it? I'm like, you're right. You're absolutely
right. The Dial of Destiny. Even though I was like, really? Dial of Destiny? But I'm like,
because by the end of the film, they're going to turn back time. And it's going to be a young Indiana Jones who's a different actor.
And then the closing credits, we're going to get shares. If I could turn
back time.
Sponsored by Dial.
Yep. Nobody knows what a dial is. I remember when they filmed that movie in New Haven. My kid, they had pay phones in there, and I have it on video. And my son is on a pay phone, a rotary phone, and he's over there, and he's putting his fingers in the holes, and he goes, Dad, these don't work. And I looked at him, I go, what are you talking about? He's like, I'm pushing the buttons. The phone's not working. I go, you have to rotate. It's a rotary phone. He goes, what? I go, it's a dial. I go, oh my God. The Dial of Destiny. Here we are. We just came up with the new Indiana Jones title right there. But no, they had no idea what a dial was.
That's like Dial H for Hero, the old 60s idea, or 50s. I don't remember which decade Robbie Reed was originally from. And God, I think that last version they did in Vertigo, I think it was an app or something like that, or maybe it was still the dial. But no, you're right, man. No, that's an anachronistic device.
I was watching an old episode of Seinfeld, the one with in the Chinese restaurant where
Sure.
he has to make a call. George has to make a call, and there's a person on it. I'm like, none of this would work nowadays.
Yeah.
Because there's no payphones anywhere.
Right, everybody have their phone. Everybody have
Well,
their-
just like in Superman, where he looks at the, it wasn't the full booth.
Yeah,
It
the
was only
Yeah,
phone.
he looked
the
at it,
half
yeah.
booth.
right. Hilarious.
Yeah. What are you gonna
Those
do?
were the days.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're done.
No, that was great, guys. Absolutely. And I'm Mitch. I
I like the part
apologize.
where Mitch got yelled at by
Wrong.
Johnny. like
I
that
don't
part.
even listen to what you say, John. Please. I just let it go.
Wise choice, Mitchell. Wise.
Who
choice.
are you? Who is this guy? I
What
don't
the
know.
fuck? What the fuck do
What
I?
does he know? What the
100%,
fuck?
Mitchell.
Exactly.
You are so not wrong. Yes, you are very right when it comes to that. I am
All I
talking.
know is
I'm talking out of my ass.
all I know is James Gunn's on the phone now. Why
Exactly.
are you bothering my brother?
Exactly.
Who
Way
the
to go.
hell's John Suntress? I know
I
exactly
hate
what I'm
you
going
guys.
to do.
I'm never talking to you guys. Oh, man.
Mitch said I can't do a movie for 2 years on the word balloon. I better give up now. Better go home with my wife, Jennifer. She's a hottie. You
that
know,
was fantastic.
Sean
Seriously.
Gunn. Sean
Go
Gunn
ahead.
is coming to. He was coming to Terrificon next summer.
Oh, that would be great,
Yeah,
man.
not anymore now.
Before I
Mitch.
fucked with him and called him.
I was telling a friend the other day that I'm watching the Kids in the Hall documentary on Amazon.
Dave
And
Foley.
because of you, I got to meet Dave Foley and tell him how much I love his work, and that meant a lot. So as
You
always,
want to call Dave Foley too?
Can we?
Yeah.
I want him on word balloon. What are you talking about, man? So anyway,
Did that get picked up for another season or what?
I don't know. I hope they want to make another one because they certainly proved. I heard a great critic with Dana Gould on Dana Gould's podcast going over the best,
Right there, Dave Foley. Kids, look at the numbers. Yeah.
the best shows of the year, and it was this woman who's like Kids in the Halls show, no matter the genre, one of the best shows of the year, and she is so right. And again, those guys have balls of steel and still are sharp comedically. It wasn't a sad reunion. It was no. These guys still have a lot of great ideas.
Motherfucker was completely naked on the show. Fucking full frontal, letting his junk hang out. You got to give him credit for that.
Bounced around like ping pong balls. It was hilarious. Absolutely.
Which ironically is next week's Trek Watch. We're all going to get naked and just show our
we're gonna bounce around like ping pong balls.
Yeah, I'm busy that week.
yeah.
Right, fair enough.
I'm not going
All
to be bouncing too much.
Until next time, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching.